Greetings, bloggers, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin with Dustin's Dynasty here again with you this week. It's been a progressive week, yet very challenging at times, but we made it to Friday. Things are somewhat getting back into the state of normalcy after being a little skewed the last few days. So I guess, it's all in all, it's good. Um, Mentally, I'm doing quite well. Been on my medicine for 4 weeks now, so definitely see a change, definitely very progressive. The therapist seems very optimistic. Possible things going forward. So, I think we're definitely we turned a corner in the medicine department, and I'm living life now, and that's definitely a life that I don't want to ever go away again. So, definitely feeling truly blessed. Honestly, when you think about being blessed, the last few days we had partial power here in our building where I live, and it wasn't that it was that bad, and I didn't really perceive it as that bad. Um, I had power to my computer, my internet, my TV, my living room, and microwave and refrigerator. So no food was wasted, and but essentially it was from Wednesday evening until all day Thursday, which I did spend a good bit of the day with my family, and then until I came home today. We're still trying to cool down because the air conditioner was not 100% at its peak optimum. So, just trying to cool down from that. But it was hard at night. Thankfully I'm on the medicine, so I knew, to go to bed. And, just having that good sleep really does help. But in honesty, it's, sometimes we don't really fathom the sense of autistic burnout and how that plays into the fact of that it's hard to transition from one task to another because of the lack of motivation or the lack of wanting to do things. I know I do this every Friday night. I knew I do my vlog post here with you all, and for some moments today I really did feel that I was going to wait till the morning. I didn't know if I was going to make it through the day. And that's the hard part, I think, with transitions and moving. I think once you get that inertia and you get moving, you get started doing something. For example, the kitchen needed to clean because obviously um, I had no lights and no stove for 2 days. So there was a lot of debris and some dishes that needed done in the kitchen. Therefore, once I got moving, and it was around 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight, so that's been about an hour ago, I started cleaning because I get into these things where, you know, I want to clean. And because I know it's important to clean, but my instance of cleaning is not the same as everybody else's. So my cleaning comes in spurts or phases. I know I have to do it. It's part of a standard of living, it's a part of standard of keeping your apartment clean. It's part of necessity to clean things, and for me it comes in phases and spurts, and not everybody can see to that. In fact, I have a very anal retentive family, and they know that. I'm not saying nothing that they don't know, or nobody, not a lot of people don't know, but we see very differently on cleaning regimens. And for what I know I need to clean, there's parts of me that there is a point where I do understand that I need to clean, and I think sometimes it's just finding that motivation to do it. There's a lot of times there's a lack of motivation, because we get so sucked into technology sometimes and things like that, and things that are more interesting to us as autistic people, more elemental things that just suck us in, and feed that emulsify that sensory stimuli in that sensory drive in our brain, that's doing something mundane like cleaning a bathroom or cleaning a kitchen may not seem so receptive to the idea. It may seem challenging, or or it may seem something that's so boring that you don't want to do it and you keep putting it off. But eventually there has to come to a point, I think, and that's where my brain kicks in and says, hey, you got to do this today, and you got to clean the bathroom, and you got to clean the living room, you got to clean up all the debris, and you got to clean up the piles of mail that are left, and you got to do these things. I think that's part of the problem. I think there becomes a point, when it is necessary to do that. It's necessary to keep motivated and keep engaged. Yes, there are also times for downtime, but it's a perfect balancing act. And I think that's what I'm learning more and more as we go on through the weeks here. Not so much with the medicine, but more and more with having the medicine. I'm learning that there's more of a balancing act in the process of that, because there's times you can have your downtime and you're relaxed, you're recharged. And for me, it took a little longer today. Not really a real long time, just the transition pieces from one thing to another. So you have your hour of relaxation and you have to regroup because the power's been out. The power's been partially out for 2 days. So you have to regroup and get things turned on and navigating and seeing if everything's operating. And I can tell you right now, the clocks are not 100% operating. So that's, a barrier too, that I got to fix clocks. Some of them and some of them I don't, but that is something I have to do. I have to, clean. I haven't done laundry this week, so that's another barrier that I will have to tackle at some point this weekend, because I wanted to do it the last few days, and because we have been having partial power. There was no power in the laundry area, so I couldn't get that done. So it's all about that balance and understanding that, hey, you got to do this day, even though that may not be your preferential thing to do. There's things you just have to do in life, and I think that's the hard part for me sometimes. Even the fact that that it may seem as mundane or as not as relevant to the need of having to have something done in the world that is not made for us, but in reality there has to be that delicate balance. And where do you find that? But it transitioning from one thing to another is hard for me. I will steadfastly admit that it is a challenge. Especially when our routines are upheaved, as they have been this week. Not knowing I have power, did not have lights in 3 of my 4 rooms, and some outlets were out, so that kind of threw things off, kind of threw things in the schedule. But I survived. And sometimes we get angry, or we don't even, I don't even say angry. I only want to say the point that I was even angry about what was transpiring. I knew it would be repaired. I have faith in our maintenance department here, and in fact, I felt that they would not let us go too long without an issue. And when I came home, everything was back online. So that was definitely kudos to them for getting us back online in as much shorter as they could. Truly thankful for that, because you don't always have that opportunity when you're renting. Thankfully, I'm through a public housing authority, and we have a very talented maintenance department. If they don't know, they get somebody who does. So that was very, very good in a way. But it's with anything, it sets you off, and it sets your schedule behind, and it irritates you at times. But when it's fixed, you feel like it's it's a miracle, and it takes time to adjust to things back to the way they were, doing things that are the way that they are intended to be, in a way, so that they are not too bothersome for you. It's a challenge, but I think I've come to the terms that it's just what it is. And radical acceptance is another piece that is still playing a part in the realm of my existence as a human being. Accepting who I am, what I am, and all parts of me, and all parts of what I must do to survive in this world. It may not be what I want or what I need, in the sense of what I have to do, but it is indeed what I have to do. And unfortunately, it's just the way it is right now. And I had to accept that for what it is, because if I don't, it's just miserable for me, not only me, but it's miserable for everybody too. So, it's that motivation. I think that's what's getting me motivated more too. And that aspect is, I know I have to do it. And if I want to have the opportunities that I have, then I must, put forth the effort, go and do, and give it my 100%. That's a big thing. I'm now more, it's more of getting it 100% of effort into something rather than doing it half shoddy. It's a big deal. It's definitely, something that I'm really looking forward to. And, I try to make it the best I can because, obviously that's what we're here for. We're here to make things better for ourselves and everybody else. It's just, I mean, but hey, part of it's the autism too. I think, I've just accepted things for what they are, the autism and the identities and, what my life is like. And if you don't like it, you can leave it. You can leave. You're more than welcome to leave. But in a sense, this is what I have to do. This is what I have to bear. And it's going to be hard sometimes for along for the ride. And sometimes it's going to take some time to recharge, but there's always a point to get motivated. And actually, I am very glad that I got to come on here and do this vlog tonight because I think it's very important to make it's known that it's worth it to motivate yourself. And it can be hard sometimes to just motivate yourself and do what is necessary to keep motivated. Because if you lay in a bed and you feel so sorry for yourself, or you feel so down and out and play the pity party and all that business, I've been there. And in fact, sometimes I still go there, but I know it's not worth it. I think a lot of the times in a reality sense, and I can't believe I'm learning this even in my late 30s, is the sense that part of what comes to play with that is the fact that we're so doused by screens now that we don't really wholeheartedly take time to actually read something or just reflect on something. And that's a goal that I've had this past week. Now I've not been 100% on it, but I am doing better with it. And there's other things too that I am struggling to work on, like making sure that I'm taking a bath every day. I'm on my shower and making sure that I'm putting clean clothes on. Because it's not that I don't put clean clothes on. It's just you could sit in the same outfit for days and not even know it. It can be a struggle, and then you don't know when you're emitting body odor, things like that. You don't understand that. You don't grasp that. You don't grasp how much time you're wasting on the screens. And I don't sometimes. Sometimes I can sit there and it could be a whole hour or two, and you don't know it. So, having that sense that I need to not be so consumed into screen time and only use it when necessary instead of just using it as a babysitter constantly. And I get not everybody can get to that level. I understand that. But for me, as a person who can articulate, communicate, and can pretty much function pretty well on his own, that's a necessity. Because I think there's a lot of dependence on screen time, as for me, especially. And that, sometimes we have to sometimes I know I have to break away from that. I know it's very important because it detracts, if being on the screen so long detracts from my mental health, and it does for many. And there's a lot of research out there that says that. So, I think there's that delicate balance, of what is good, what is healthy, what is not. It's all keeping everything. That's screen time, the making sure everything's clean. It's all in that delicate balance. And that's what I've been learning in the past 4 weeks or so since I've been getting on track and getting into a better frame of mind. It's not gonna come together overnight. It's not it's not gonna be easy, but you're gonna have your moments. You're gonna have your moments, without a doubt. You're gonna have your moments, but you got to keep on fighting. And it's hard to fight sometimes. Sometimes you just want to wallow in pity and feel sorry for yourself and say, "What was me?" and be so angry at somebody, but you just can't, because you have to keep going, because you have to stay well. And I'm glad I actually got to come on here, and I said it a couple of times, but I think sometimes just getting on here and just saying what is on my mind and, sharing what's on my mind. That does help. So that being said, I want to say thank you for listening. Be sure to follow me on like this video, subscribe to this video if you haven't already by following my newsfeed on my channel. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest at Dustin's Dynasty, on the web at dustinsdynastyusa.com. I also have a link tree, and that handle is Dustin's Dynasty. I'm going to thank you again for listening. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.